Good afternoon, sir. My name is Adrian, and I'm an intern in this center. Yeah. How may I address you?
You can call me Jim.
Jim. Alright, Jim. And how do I spell Jim?
J-I-M.
J-I-M. Okay. And Jim, welcome to this center. Was it difficult to get your way here?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Alright. So, have you attended any counseling session previously?
No, this is my first time.
This is your first time?
Yeah.
Must be really courageous of you to come by. Speak to someone new, haven't seen before, and to share about your concerns. Yeah. Well, since you haven't been for any counseling session before, I just want to share with you what these sessions are about and how it looks like as we move onwards. Okay? Okay. So typically, therapy sessions would be for about 10 to 15 sessions. So there's no like one session fix everything. Yeah. And in a session, it's a collaborative work. So as much as I provide you some knowledge, you are actually the expert of all the matters that we discuss. Yeah. And I'd like to also share with you about confidentiality. Like whatever we share in the session, it will be made known to you, me, as well as my supervisor for the purpose of training to provide you with the best care. I wonder if that's okay for you.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the event where you highlight to me that there are thoughts or there are plans to harm yourself or to hurt people around you, I will need to break this confidentiality for the purpose of safety. Okay? Sure. I'm just wondering, are you comfortable?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. And how are you feeling right now?
A bit nervous. Yes.
A bit nervous. Sure. Are you nervous about the session?
No, not so much about this session.
Not so much about the session.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just share with you the agenda for today's. Today will take about an hour. And after 1 hour, I will explore with you about some of the concerns that you bring into the session. And I'll also be asking you about some questions about yourself. Some may or may not be related to the session, but I hope that you can provide me with more information about yourself so as to give me a better picture of where you're coming from. Okay? Okay. To begin with, we'd like to share with me what brought you here today.
It's these thoughts that I'm having. I think I'm losing control, you know. I'm just very worried that someone's gonna break into my house and hurt my wife, and hurt my children, hurt me, and take all my things away.
So I'm hearing that you've got thoughts about someone breaking into your house,
Yeah.
causing harm to your family and taking your items away.
And I can't help it, you know. It took me so long just to get out of the house. I don't know why. I have to check that everything's okay. Everything is safe. I go to the door, make sure the lock's okay, put the key in, I open it, I close it, open it and I close it again. Then I go to the windows, I check that the grills are okay, check that the lock is intact. Same thing, I take the key, open and close it. And then after that, I need to check on the lights, I need to check on the stove. And sometimes I need to check my valuables are still there. And then after that, I gotta do it all over again. I check the locks again, check the lights again, check the stove again, and then the locks again, until this feeling goes away.
So Jim, what you're saying is that when you have thoughts that someone's going to break into your house, some of the things that you will do is that you will check on your locks, your lights, your stove, as well as your valuables, just to ensure that it is safe?
Yes.
Okay. And you say until these feelings goes away. What feelings are these?
You know, I just can't compose myself, you know. my hands are trembling even now. It's because I need to go back home. I need to go back home and check. Yeah, I'm feeling my heart's beating a bit faster. I'm feeling a bit dizzy, like just not myself. I'm just not myself.
Okay. And how frequent does this happen?
When I'm not at home,
So every time you're not at home,
Yeah, I
you've got...
need to check before I go to work. I need to check before I go down to buy food. I need to check before coming here. All the time.
And how are all this affecting you?
I mean, I'm supposed to get to work at 9. Sometimes it gets so bad, by the time I'm able to even step out of the house, it's already 9:30. By the time I get to work, it's 10:30.
I see.
My boss is telling me, like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I taking so long to get to work? I don't think he understands, I'm telling him that I'm having some difficulty, and then he's saying, what difficulty? And my colleagues are talking behind my back. They're laughing at me, they're probably calling me names.
You heard them calling you names?
I mean, they must be calling me names. People think the worst of me. Before I leave the house, I need to drop my wife off. My wife gets to work late, and she's pissed off at me. My children are wondering why is it that I take so long to get ready. They think I'm going crazy.
So you mentioned that as a result of all this checking behaviors, it's causing you delays in getting to work. Your responsibility to send your wife and your children.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just briefly, can you share with me how many children do you have?
I have 2 kids. Both are girls. One of them is in secondary 1. The other one is in primary 4.
Okay. Sure. So can I also ask, when did all this checking behavior begin?
It's been a couple of months already. I know it sounds crazy, but so I have a brother, really close to him, someone that I really look up to. Then one day, I met him up for coffee, and he's telling me that his home got broken into. That the robber came in and stole his computer and stole his valuables. It happened in the middle of the night. My goodness. If my brother had confronted the robber, what would the robber have done?
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
What if the robber had hurt his family members? What if the robber had hurt my nieces and nephews? It could happen to me too. It's very real, it's very real. Yeah, sometimes at the bottom of the flat, I see some people loitering around, and I don't know, they might be plotting something, they might be wanting to rob me.
I see. Can I ask you about these thoughts? Do you think that they are real? The thoughts about someone trying to break into your house.
A part of me knows it. A part of me knows. My wife has told me, my daughter has told me that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What are the chances? And I've looked everywhere. Nobody has access to the keys. Nobody's going to be able to get in. I know that. But the other part of me is, it's just not safe. It's just not safe. Even if it's a small risk, even if it's a very low likelihood, I can't take it if something were to happen. I can't take it if something were to happen to my family, to me, my daughters, and my wife. I can't deal with the consequences of that. I can't.
So what I hear from you is that you're really concerned about them. So on one hand, I hear that you're really concerned and you're going all out to take care of their safety. But on the other hand, I see that your wife and your children getting upset with you for this behavior.
They don't understand. They don't understand. I try talking to my wife. I try to tell her how I'm feeling, how worried I am, but she just tells me I'm going crazy, that I should go and get help, and I'm getting help.
So was she the one who encouraged you to come here today?
I'm not sure so much as an encouragement, or more like she's kind of probably given up on me already. Things are just not so good between us now, And our children are they're quite grown up. My wife doing very well in her work. She's a lawyer. And here I am, I can't even get my life together. I don't know, maybe my boss is going to fire me. I feel like I'm kind of losing it.
Has there been a time when you don't have to do any of these checks?
Just that one time. That one time, my parents came over. They was spending time with my kids. So me and my wife, the long time, God knows when, for the first time in a long time, we managed to have some time to ourselves and not think about the kids, not think about work. So we went out for a meal.
Mm-hmm.
We had a movie. And that was probably the most peaceful 3 hours that I ever had. Well, I wasn't worried so much about home. I could actually have a good meal, and I really felt so relaxed in a long time.
And it sounds like it's something that you really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because even as you express it, it sounds like your tone softened as well.
Yeah. When I was about to go home again, then the thoughts started coming back. It's not safe.
Sure.
It's not safe. You never know when they're gonna come take my things away and take my wife away.
So earlier on, I asked you about when it all began. You shared about your brother. Yeah, was it shortly after your brother had a break-in?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
And how many months ago was that?
About 3 months ago.
Okay, so about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at first it was still okay, I was just checking the logs and making sure it works. But after that, I need to check again. And again.
It must be really frustrating.
Yeah, and then I'm watching on TV, the crime watch, saying that you gotta be careful, that robbers may come. And I've been looking up the internet, and I realized that it's not that difficult to pick a lock, it's not that difficult. It's very easy to pick a lock. Yeah, anyone could do it. Yeah.
So you have gone on the internet to check it out
Yeah.
as well. I see.
It's not safe.
Sure. So these thoughts, they come in, and some part of you know that it's not too real, but some part of you says that there's a possibility.
Yeah, I know it's not likely,
Yeah.
but it's possible. It happened to my brother.
So when these thoughts come in, do you do anything to avoid or to cope with these thoughts?
I need to check. It makes me feel better when I check.
It makes you feel better when
It
you
makes me
check.
feel better.
Okay. Can you describe what is better?
After the more checks I do, the calmer I feel, I don't feel so shaky anymore. That I could breathe properly again. That I could step out of the house. That I could take a bus and get get into my car and you get to work. It just feels different. I don't know how I could describe it. It feels different. That I'm myself again, you know.
Sure. Do you get anyone involved, let's say your family members, do you get them involved in helping you to do some of these checks?
I mean, sometimes I try to tell my wife, you know, could you just help me check that the switches are off, the stove is off. But she says I'm crazy, asks me to go and check on my own. You see, she doesn't get it. They don't get it. Yeah, so I'll just do all this myself. You know, they don't do it. Someone has to do it. See, if someone, it might as well be me. Then I'll know that it's really safe.
Okay. And through this last few months, do you worry about anything else? Like, for example, your health?
No, not really.
Okay.
But at work, you know, sometimes I'm so worried that someone's going to take my files or take my folders from my cabinet. So I also need to check that the locks are secure in my cabinet. You know, that my things are in place. My books, my papers, my hole puncher, everything's in place, that nobody has messed with my stuff. Yeah, I just need to make sure. Yeah, you never know.
And has there been time when someone messed around with your stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Sure. Do you see things or hear things that are not there?
No, I'm not. I mean, my wife is not. She's just wrong. And I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And with all these challenges that you have, what are your beliefs about this? Where this is coming from?
I know it's just all in my head, just that I can't control it, you know. I try not to think about it. The more I try not to think about it, the more it comes. Until I do my checking. When I check, then I feel better. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So you think that these are in your head?
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
Okay. Sure. And you know, some people who undergo stress like this, or challenges like this, some people do have thoughts about wanting to hurt themselves or hurt people around them. I'm just wondering if you have such thoughts or plans to do so.
I'll never hurt myself, and I'll never hurt my family. They're what I care about, you know, and I'll never hurt them. I'll never hurt myself.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much with me. So from what I'm hearing from you, you're saying that you have got thoughts that might possibly be a break-in in your place. Yeah. And you acknowledge that this thought, they may not be too real, but part of you says that there's a possibility. And as a result of that, you will do frequent checks. You check on your lock, check on your lights, your jewelry, your stove. And after checking them, it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But as a result of this, you are unable to fulfill some of your responsibility and duties, like for example, going to work on time, sending your wife and your kids to school and work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it.
Yeah. And you also shared with me that when such thoughts comes in, you don't feel composed. As well as you feel that there's some physical symptoms that you observe, like for example, you start to tremble, there's increased heartbeat.
Yeah.
And all this began shortly after there was a break-in at your brother's place.
Yeah.
And it started about 3 months back. And it occurs to you especially more when you're about to leave the house, it sounds like. And the last few months, the only time when you didn't feel this way was when you had an outing with your wife, a date with your wife, which you seem to appreciate as well. Well, I'm glad that you came forward to share about all this. Yeah, and I see your concerns that you have, and how this is affecting your life, where your work and your relationship with your wife is being challenged. Yeah, I think it's very courageous of you to step forward, wanting to do a change.
I'm trying really hard.
And of all this, the checking behaviors, the thoughts that comes in, your problem with your workplace, being at work on time, and the relationship with your wife, there's few concerns that you have. I'm just wondering, where do you think that you would like to start to work on first?
I need to stop this checking. I want to stop it. I want to be normal again. I want to get to work on time. I want to be able to send my wife to work. I want to be a good father. I want to be a good husband to my wife. I want to be a good worker.
Sure.
I just want things to go back the way it used to be.
Okay. So if I hear you correctly, you're saying that you wish to reduce the checking behavior.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's a very wise choice that you made, because by reducing the checking behavior, you may improve your punctuality, as well as fulfilling some of the responsibility in the family. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. I will be asking you some other questions about your history and some of the events in your life. Yeah. May I proceed onwards?